Hello everyone, welcome to Downtown Tailoring. In today's video, we are going to take in size and shorten the strap in a wedding gown with lace. So let's go! If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe. This is a gorgeous wedding gown. It has a hem with different layers with the horsehair that makes it really nice. And the top is a lace over a mesh. Fantastic. My real challenge with this dress is to do the job without disturbing the skirt. This fabric is very difficult to iron, and I want to do the job without provoking any wrinkles. We are going to take in sides on this dress, and we are going as well to shorten the straps. I'll take the opportunity that I have it in the mannequin to mark my pins. I'm using today an air and water soluble pen, and if I forget to remove the ink, it will disappear anyways with the time. So after I know that everything is well marked, I'm gonna remove my pins, and this is what I need to take in. But as you can see, I have an overlay lace, and the idea I wanted to show you is that I'm going to remove that lace before I do that job, and then when I finish I will put it back. Please bear with me while I'm doing this work. It might feel like it's a little complicated, but it's easier than you think. So I open all the lace that is on top, and I have my marks. And now I'm gonna open the skirt part. Do you remember in the last wedding gown we did that I really didn't want it to open the skirt? In this case it's different because the material underneath is woven. I won't have any problem by altering the skirt or anything there. So I open, and then I'm gonna use another pen. This one is a heat erase to mark and balance the measurements at the sides. But first I'm gonna work on the straps, and these straps as well, this is very delicate, but it's really easy. You just have to open the straps enough to take in as much as you need. In that case I'm taking around 1 inch, and then I'm going strap by strap and take 1 inch. Sometimes, because I'm working with this kind of material with the two color, I have to change the thread in between. What I try to do is to match the original thread. So when they use white, I'll use white. When they use the tan, I'll use the tan. So I will just copy. Now I shorten the tan straps before I shorten the lace straps, so everything is shortened in the same way. And then I'm gonna take the inner part and I'm gonna sew it. I'm gonna sew the lining and the top part together. I'm gonna make sure that I'm very careful, and this is the way it looks. What I need to do now is the understitch. You see? You have to be very careful, and then when you have that, you are almost done. You now need to go through the lining the way you can to sew the other pieces. So what I'm gonna do, I open my side inside, and then I'm gonna go with my fingers all the way around. That good that is a net, so you can really see where I'm going to. And then after I pull that material, I will just stitch the other side, and it's done. You see, it's easier than you think. Some people get a little bit scared when they want to shorten that, but as you can see, it's not even iron, and it looks fantastic. You can do as well the last stitch by hand using a ladder stitch, and it will look good too. So let's go back to the bodice, and I'm gonna take in as well. I open the bodice and the armhole, and I'm just going to make my new side seams. Now is the time to sew as well the netting lining. And as I said before, I'm gonna copy the thread they are using, and they are using a tan dress for the bobbin and a white dress for the top. And then I just sew that, and I'm going to cut the excess of the material, which is not really too much. And now I'm gonna close back the armhole. So basically I'm sewing both together, and then after I'm gonna do my understitch. So this part is almost done, and now we will have to work with the skirt. Remember that we have many layers of a skirt, and I have to open all of them like if we're like an onion. That's the easiest way to do it, because otherwise I have to open much more than you can think. So I think I have 4 layers, 2 lining and 2 organzas, and I have to open one by one. So when I reach the last one, which will be the one at the top on the dress, I'm gonna mark my new side measurement, and then I'm gonna sew. And as you can see, I have to go little by little, getting closer to the original seam in a really slow way, because you don't want to make a point, you want to go smooth and nice. And of course I'm gonna open the old stitch, because you can see it and it won't look really good if you don't do it. Then I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna take my second layer with this underneath of the top one in my dress, and I'm going to sew it exactly in the same way. Then I'm gonna go with my third layer, and for my fourth one is where I really have to work hard. I will finish first the waist for my net lining, and I need to sew as well the 3 first layers of material to my waist. So basically I'm gonna start by pinning everything together in my waist, but because I have so many materials, so delicate, so difficult to work with, I'm gonna baste everything in place. And then when I have all basted, I'm gonna sew my waistline. Remember, at this time I'm not sewing the bodice lining. I'm sewing the bodice top with the 3 layers of the skirt. Now I'm gonna take my bodice lining and I will fold it in the right way where it's supposed to finish, like that. And I'm going to pin all together with the skirt, and then I'm going to stitch it as well. Now, as you can see in the top, it looks all finished, of course without the lace. We are going to finish the skirt soon, but before I forget, let me sew the clothing straps. I'm gonna sew it to the lining first. A lot of people cut out the clothing strap because they feel uncomfortable or they go out of the clothes, but they are really good for hanging the dresses. Do you cut your clothing straps? And then I'm gonna make my second stitch, this time through the lining and through the bodice. And don't worry for this top stitch, because I will cover it with the lace. That way I make sure that it's stronger. So let's go back to the skirt. I'm gonna sew a good chunk so I don't have to work too hard from far. And I'm gonna sew a good chunk to the other side too. So they are now very close to each other, and I had to mark the right measurement at the waist. And then I'm gonna pin that, and I'm going to my machine, and I'm going to sew a few inches down, around 3 inches more or less, just enough that I can then sew all inside out to the waist. That way I will have my skirt all nice and finished. After I use a ladder stitch to sew the little hole, and now is the time to go to my ironing board and iron everything I did. Usually I iron very soon after I sew, but in this case, with a gown so big, you don't want to be moving back and forth the gown for ironing and those things. And anyways, this doesn't need to be too crisp, so that's why I'm ironing at the last step basically. So I iron inside and iron outside, making sure that my gown looks nice. I ironed as well the straps that I did first, and then I'm going to my other parts, and then after I'm going to sew back the lace. This time I'm gonna sew it by hand because it's not really that much, but you can sew it by machine if you prefer. I myself feel more comfortable not having to move the dress all underneath the machine, because sometimes those materials so delicate, you can break it, pull, something like that. So I just go and sew everything and put it like that. And then after I finish to sew all my lace, I'm going to use a ladder stitch to sew the lining, and here you go. You can't even see that there is a side seam there, right? It looks really great. Well, now it's time then to take my eraser and erase all those little marks. But as I said, they will evaporate by themselves if I don't erase them. And here you go. This is my wedding gown. It's all done. I make sure that the wedding gown didn't get wrinkled too. I was trying to, to not move it too much, and ready for my customer. If you find this video useful, please give us a like and don't forget to subscribe, share, comment. Bye!